Everybody. Here we go. Welcome back.
Hi, glad you're here.
And we are talking about something that is uncomfortable today. And it is...
I'm going to leave then.
Yep, thank you. See you, Scott. I will talk to you guys about... Oh, hey, Scott's back.
Community.
Perfect. Yeah, community and the uncomfortableness and vulnerability and sharing and allowing ourselves to be seen and to be known. And so we're going to dive into this in a verse that actually helps us understand this a little bit better. And the importance behind this is...
Galatians 6:2. It says, bear one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Christ. It's a deep statement, and we're going to dive into that word burdens because there's a lot underneath it. The Greek word there is actually pronounced baros, and the mental image that it's trying to create is this idea of like weight. Bear one another's weight, like literal pounds. And what does that look like for us to fulfill Christ's commands to lift each other's weight? And that's a great question, because when I think of this, that's a very inward question, and my brain tends to go more logically of what can I do? So help me with that. What does that translate to you in your world?
Yeah, exactly. And the irony of this conversation and what we're doing this for is beautiful, because small groups, actually this connection and like how do we do this is with other people. But in that, it requires trust, and it requires me to put trust in Scott. If I'm going to tell him something and this vulnerability in the sharing, I'm trusting that he's going to receive it well and receive me. Like this is me giving myself over.
And so when I hear that, to then try to make it super practical, what I'm hearing is this idea of to practice that, to genuinely engage, I need to approach a scenario of not just I'm here to talk and process my own stuff, but Troy, tell me more. Let me understand more of you, and let me care more about you than my own need in our interaction. Not that I shouldn't share as well, but if we're both approaching this mutually as tell me more about you, that then fosters trust and it fosters that intimacy.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a beautiful question of like this building of intimacy and this learning of each other. But that question, tell me more, or like dive a little deeper in that. And this, it's almost like I picture like walking through a park, and you're going together, but let's walk a little bit farther. Let's go a little bit farther in this, because I'm a visual person, just seeing that two people walking, and it's like walking through this vulnerability. Sometimes it's painful and sometimes it hurts, but that act of learning each other is something that I think this verse is talking about when it says like, carry that weight, carry that burden, and it requires this trust and this learning and this humility.
That reminds me of a question that we talk about with young people, in terms of every young person's asking 3 questions, and one of those questions is, where do I belong? And I think you can't have belonging unless you belong to someone. You can't belong corporately and try to hide in the shadows. Belonging must be done interpersonally and with someone. And I think that then is the beauty of what we try to accomplish in small groups, where it's not just a social club, but it's belonging to one another.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's beautiful, because this sense of carrying one another's burdens, actually in the invitation of vulnerability for the sake of intimacy, is actually inviting us into something that is deep within all of us, a desire to be known, to be celebrated, to be respected, but especially to be loved. And to really dive into that is just hitting these core desires that long in the bottom of our soul, like in each one of us. So as you go this week with your small group, just be okay with sharing yourselves, and just be okay with that one question, tell me more, and just dive a little bit deeper. And it's going to be messy, it's going to be falling over each other, and hey, some of you guys may actually have this down really well and just gel really naturally together, and that's the beauty of doing life for so long together. And so just continue to do that and bring other people into that sort of diving deep together.
Enjoy.